the condition of Michael Jordan's wrist, 2, the shape of Donald Royal's ankle. The man who has the answer is Craig Sager.
Well, Bob, people figure when Michael Jordan shoots for 8 for 22, something must be wrong with him. Not so, says Dr. John Heffern. He says there's nothing wrong with the wrist at all. He wears the wristband as superstition. As for the supposedly injured middle finger, he says that happened in Game 1 against Charlotte, not Game 1 against Orlando. And in Game 1 against Charlotte, Michael scored 48. He says there's nothing wrong with Michael. A bigger concern, the sprained left ankle of Donald Royal of Orlando. He's had it all year, but he recovers quickly. He has been okay to play. We'll just have to see how far he goes.
Thanks, Craig. And talk about big news. Check this number. Gone is 45. Back from the rafters is 23. Quickly, tonight's starting lineup. Pippen and Royal, interesting matchup.
Yeah, we got to really watch this. Again, Royal's ankle is sore, and Scotty's got to get off to a great start. Let's see if he attacks. And I wonder with Michael Jordan's number, if it goes back to what Nick Anderson said when he said 23 he's to take off and launch. 45 just sort of hangs there. So maybe Michael's going to try to launch himself tonight, wearing number 23.
Dick Bavetta, Paul Mahalik, and Bill Oakes are our officials tonight. Nick Anderson, who had a spectacular game, scoring 20 and throttling Jordan, will be defending Michael. And
Guards play him when he goes to the basket.
Hardaway with the ball right now, and the pass to Horace Grant. Covered a little closer by Kukoc. The pass is inside to Shaquille O'Neal. Gets the easy lay-in as he stepped inside of Luke Longley and the Magic, leading the series 23 tonight. B.J. Armstrong, who has not been shooting much in the past few games, misses that jumper. Bad pass. Pippen finds Michael. The pull-up. It's down for a 3. Hello.
Well, Michael got the first good look, and he drains the 3, and he had that
as high as 23, and Michael just changes the number. Oh, would it be so easy? Yeah. Pippen on the run. He's looking to better his subpar performance from game number 1. He'll try the 3. He knocks it down.
Good sign. Good sign if you're Chicago. Pippen and Jordan both off the mark with 6 quick points.
Is not there, so we'll go back to him in just a moment. .9:59 to go in the first quarter. Horace Grant from 17 feet drops the jump shot. It is Bulls 6, Magic 4. We'll get back to Craig Sager on the Michael Jordan.
For Horace Grant, if they double team Anthony Hardaway, that's why I think they have to stay more at home with him.
Michael has 5 already. Nick Anderson has that look like.
We did a report. A rose by any other name was a rose. But Jordan by any other number was not Jordan. We had Nick Anderson saying he could steal the ball from 45, but if that would have been 23, he wouldn't have stolen the ball. Well, obviously, we told you earlier, Michael Jordan is superstitious. He also saw the report. 45 is in mothballs. 23 is back.
8 on the shot clock. Nick Anderson defended by B.J. Armstrong. There's the double team. 3, 2. Grant has to throw it up, and he hits it. That's a 2. That was a 21-foot, 11-inch two-point shot. Chance for the Magic to take the lead. Nick Anderson's pull-up. Magic by 1.
The Magic have weathered the emotional start. Michael hits his first 2 shots. Pippen hits his. They get down 10-4. They keep it together with their defense, and they now lead 11-10. We're only in the first quarter.
Pippen inbounding to Jordan with a new 24-second clock. Jordan with that number 23 pulled out of the rafters of the United Center. Down inside to Purdue, who gets his first inside post-up basket.
This is one thing that Shaquille must do. He cannot relax on Will Purdue. Will throw up 8 or 10 points, and those are points that the Bulls should not get from him.
Shaquille out on the high post, lobbing inside to Anderson for the play, who slipped inside of Michael. 13-12 Orlando.
Nick Anderson making Michael work on both ends, not only posting him up, but working him down here on the defensive end. Shaq coming out with a double team.
Jordan hits this jumper after missing 4 consecutive shots, giving the Bulls the lead again in a seesaw battle with 4 minutes to go. First quarter.
Of fighting over those picks. When he hits the screen, he has a tendency to stop playing.
Will Purdue trying to draw Shaquille out of the middle. 8 on the shot clock. Isolate Jordan right side against Nick Anderson for 13. Michael Jordan has 9 points in the first quarter.
But I think he's taken 9 shots, so his production is for every shot he's getting 1 point. The Magic can live with that.
He's 4 of 9. 18-17 Bulls. Under 2 minutes to go, first quarter. Penny Hardaway hits the jumper.
Very important right there, Bob. As this game goes on, when he plays that screening, this tempo favors. I think before everybody thought Chicago, but Orlando's become a team that can guard you. So I'm not so sure.
Michael Jordan has 11 points. He's too open, too close, in my view, if I'm giving a critique on the defense.
Well, if you watch Shaquille, if he misses, it's because he gets the thumb into his shot too much. That's what Pippen has to do a little bit more, too, is he's got to get to the front of the rim.
However, he's struggling. 5 of 14 from the field.
You're seeing Michael in a lot of weak side action. They're trying to isolate him. Horace Grant going strong to the basket. But Brian Hill had felt like if there were any adjustments Chicago would make, it would be
the whole team.
When you look at the Magic, it's the free throw line. They are 8 of 10 points from the free throw line. Tony Kukoc's first 2 points of the game. Remember, I told you about Tony. You don't get him involved early. If he doesn't get offensively on track, he'll have a tendency to drift a little bit. That's his first field goal attempt here since missing his first 2 in the first quarter.
Yeah, he's been somewhat invisible. Brian Shaw steps around Kerr, hits the leaner, and that's a 33-32 Bulls. Orlando Scott commits the foul, and Michael Jordan is at the free throw line, where he is only struggling in every way tonight. 5 of 13 from the floor. And now he's missed the free throw.
Michael was too quick with that one. His motion is way too fast. That was much better, and he still missed it. So Michael really struggling right now, and the Bulls still winning. It's sort of amazing right now when you look up at the scoreboard that they're up 1.
Shaquille gets the pass from Brian Shaw. He scores the basket. He'll go to the line, and Michael Jordan is really beside himself. Words for Bill Wennington. You know he's irritated with himself, and now the Magic have taken the lead, and they will build on it.
How about this statistic? Shaquille O'Neal has been fouled 10 times tonight by 6 different Chicago Bulls. So everybody's getting a piece of the shack right now. Good concentration, good strong finish. And Shaquille O'Neal going back to the free throw line for his 13th attempt.
Key here is 3 fouls already on Shaquille O'Neal. Pippen's jump hook goes down in the lane, and the Bulls certainly would like to see some more of that. Bulls regain the lead by 1.
Well, that could be a very, very big thing then for Orlando, Bob. I did not realize that was the 3rd foul. You still have almost 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And Shaquille's going to have to sit down.
8 on the shot clock. Nick Anderson banging into Jordan, outweighs him by about 20 pounds. Uses his physical strength to nail that turnaround 10-footer. Score with 13. Matching O'Neal, or actually O'Neal has 15. That's Nick Anderson for 3. Big bucket. 2-point Magic lead.
So it's important for them to keep Chicago out on that perimeter shooting jump shots and off that free throw line. And I will tell you once again, Nick Anderson must play this last 3:26 without picking up his 3rd foul. Ball will be tipped back here to Michael Jordan.
Off his hands and back to Pippen.
See, teams don't practice jump balls that much.
Kerr is open for the 3. That's a big one. That's the first even. Kerr has not even had a crack to shoot tonight. Well, that's his first even near opening.
You're a coach over there, so you tag Steve Kerr every time down. Do not give him an inch, because this guy, every time he shoots you think it's going in.
Nick Anderson hits the bucket, backing Jordan in, and will go to the line, and Michael Jordan now has his first personal.
Let's talk about tough-minded people. We know Michael Jordan is. People are finding out so is Nick Anderson. This is a young man who has got a heart. He's letting it show tonight. Look at him back in on Michael. He's not giving an inch.
Points in 25 minutes, including 2 of 2 from 3 land. Jordan goes for the steal. Hardaway open for 3.
Well, he needed that one. Anthony Hardaway's been shooting 19% in the playoffs from the 3-point line after shooting 35% in the regular season. You see Penny Hardaway shaking his head, saying, thank you, I needed that one.
2:23 to go in the first half. Magic have regained the lead. They're up by 2.
Hardaway posting up. That means Horace Grant will probably get the shot at the top. Bad
Jordan
pass.
with the steal on the break. To Kukoc, one touch to Pippen. What a beautiful play by the big three from the Bulls.
See, Anthony Hardaway tried to make a cross-court pass there out of that double team. Michael Jordan was laying there. Horace Grant is open at the top of the circle. Right there, and he can swing the ball, and there's where the shot should come from.
Anderson tries the three. Tree Rollins can't hold on to it. Tied at 44. Bulls back. Jordan looking to go to the basket, and he gets his first layup of the night.
And a great back pick this third because Shaquille already has three. They cannot have those guys in foul trouble to start the second half.
Here's an opportunity as Jordan isolates. Off the curl, Pippen back to Jordan on the screen. We've got a hand check foul on Donald Royal. Bulls were in a little offensive trouble there. When Royal reaches out with the hand on Michael, he goes to the free throw line with the game tied at 46. Michael Jordan is only 2 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. Make it 2 of 5. And the crowd starting to razz him. Doesn't get it, and Shaquille O'Neal is shooting a higher percentage from the free throw line than Michael Jordan at this point in the game.
Chicago substitution number 10.
Well, look at that look on Michael Jordan's face. You talk about determination and being upset with yourself. You know, we've talked so often about what kind of competitor this guy is, but it is killing him right now that he stepped up there and missed those free throws and that he's not making the shots he normally makes.
Shaq is 10 of 13. Michael only 2 of 6. Who would have thunk that? Anderson trying to defend Kukoc now with 44 seconds in the half. Up and under from Tony, off the glass, and gets the bounce.
Very, very smart play by Nick Anderson, though, not to reach in and get a silly foul. Better to give up 2 points than to take yourself out of the game.
Once again, the Bulls playing terribly offensively, but leading in the game, actually by 2. Hardaway with a jam, and that'll tie it with 27 to go in the first half. And Scottie Pippen threw it off of Michael Jordan, who wasn't even aware the ball was coming. Let's see this, if they have anything to say. Apparently not.
It's amazing. The Bulls are out of sync, and they're still not play Royal on the perimeter because he wants to drive.
Jordan with the steal. This will be good. Well, it wasn't great, but it was good.
Donald Royal will not.
Here they go again with this. Now Shaquille finds the open man on the short hop to Horace Grant, who hits the jumper. That was a tough fielding play for Horace.
Well, you know what they did? They dove Donald Royal through, forced the guy to pick him up, and then spotted up Anderson and Grant on the perimeter because they're better shooters.
Pick and roll with Jordan and Armstrong, posting Michael against Hardaway. 10 on the shot clock. Fadeaway jumper from the baseline. Michael Jordan, he has 2 attempts and 2 baskets here in the second half. As we take a look at the last play of Michael's jump shot here, he switched from 45 to 23, is also wearing shoes that don't match his teammates. We understand he'll be fined for that. Didn't report his number to the league before changing it.
See, Royal will not shoot that shot. He wants to go right to the basket.
Horace will shoot that one. Horace Grant, 11 points. Loses the ball in the paint. Nick Anderson, stolen by Jordan. Pippen lurking underneath the hoop. Jordan's pull up. Oh yes, he's 3 for 3 in this half.
Playing in a better rhythm, playing in a much better rhythm this half. Like my daughter in the soccer game the other day, I said, "Come on, Kelly, we need a goal." And she goes, "Really, Dad?"
Little league father. Little league father. 7:48 to go, third quarter. 10 on the shot clock for Chicago. Jordan 3 for 3. Make it 4 for 4, and there is no question he is slowed down in more of a rhythm. Doug, you hit that right on the button.
Everything was quick in that first half. That was 3 days worth of adrenaline and a rush for him to come out and get it all back in one day, and it gets opportunity. And if he scores, it's now a 5-point game. So instead of being down 8 to go to 10, you're now down 5. That's how the course of games change, and especially on a fundamental error, you don't throw the ball in the middle court on an outlet pass.
B.J. Armstrong off baseline screens. He's 0 for 4 from the floor tonight. 10 on the shot clock. Pick and roll with Purdue. Open man Pippen, now 7. Pippen hard to the hole. It doesn't go, but Michael follows. Jordan with the offensive rebound. Jordan has, we're talking about him struggling, 26 points, and we're not even halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah, and he's got 10 points on 5 shots this half.
Horace Grant is open down the lane. He's fouled. He'll get a three-point opportunity.
Shaquille better get back. He's got 3 fouls. He doesn't want to commit a silly one just because he missed a shot.
B.J. Armstrong hits his first bucket of the game. And if you like him at all, and you got to like B.J. Armstrong, you have to feel good that finally he gets one to go down.
Well, again, the transition offense, when Chicago gets early looks in transition, they run B.J. ahead. They give him those opportunities. He's going to make the majority of those. This is the guy they need to get moving right now, Anthony Hardaway.
Hardaway wanted to go for the leaning jumper, didn't go, and Grant took it anyway, and the foul underneath the hoop. Whistle, score the basket, and a loose ball foul is on Orlando.
I think it's on Shaquille O'Neal.
That's 4.
That's right. He pushed off.
Significant, Doug.
Oh, big time. No, I think he pushed off on Michael Jordan when they were going for the loose ball. Now, if you're Brian Hill, what do? You're down 6. He's already set out about 6 minutes of the second quarter with fouls. You roll dice, you leave him on the floor, and he gets 5, and they say, Coach, why'd you leave him in? You take him out, and you go down 12, and they say, Coach, why'd you take him out? So you better hope that he stays away from fouls right now, and your team stays in the game.
Pippen for 3. That's a big bucket, and the Bulls have built their biggest lead, 69-60, with 5:12 to go in the third, and Shaquille with 4 fouls.
I still say Anthony Hardaway has got to be more aggressive going to the basket.
There he was, and B.J. Armstrong commits the foul. From the Arena in Orlando, Florida, Bulls hoping to even the series. Jordan has not missed in the second half, now has 28 points.
I still think that as he got rid of that nervous adrenaline.
71-66 Chicago, 3:16 to go, third quarter. Michael Jordan came out of the second half on fire. Kukoc hard to the hoop. What a shot by Tony. When he goes to his left, he is magical down on the baseline.
Well, he can also pass, too, so you have to be so very careful to make the total commitment because he will drop that ball off to somebody for an easy dunk. Hardaway posting against B.J. They'll have to double team him.
Wennington was late getting there. Phil Jackson just exploded off the bench at Bill Wennington.
See, Bill Wennington has not been a factor with his shooting. With Tree Rollins in the game, they could get him a screen roll jump shot on the baseline. Let's see if they can free him up.
Pippen's going hard to the hoop, over Tree, followed by Wennington on the weak side. Well, that's not how they drew it, but it is 2 points.
See, Bill Wennington loves to tip
with the Magic. Hardaway has it punched away by B.J. Armstrong down to 7. Tough shot by Anthony Hardaway.
He's got to go to work on B.J. Armstrong because he creates a double team just like going to the basket. So they're down only 6 or 7 points rather than 9. Chicago showing some full court pressure, making them use some clock.
Brian Shaw handling it on top. They got Hardaway over on the right side, Anderson on the left side with Grant. And Donald Royal posted down low. Shot clock's down to 5 seconds. Shaw's going to have to get it to Anders, to Anthony Hardaway, to Horace Grant. It rims out of there. Put back by Donald Royal. It won't count. And the Bulls do finish the third quarter by 9 over Orlando, 80-71. And you see that Michael Jordan, in 10 less shots, has the same number of field goals as he did in the first half. That's the first time Orlando has given up 30 points in a quarter in the playoffs. Orlando came into this game leading the NBA in points defense in the playoffs, allowing only 87 a game. Already the Bulls have 80 going into the final 12 minutes. Michael Jordan back on the floor. Shaquille likewise. Shaquille carrying 4 personal fouls. Michael has 3. Will Perdue is in at center for Chicago, and Judd Bushler in at forward.
Well, Shaquille in that third quarter before he got into foul trouble, Bobby, was 1 for 5 from the floor with 2 for 3 from the free throw line, 4 points. They're going to need a big-time effort from him in this fourth quarter.
And this is a time when normally Shaquille touches the ball less than at any other time in the game. Shaw driving into traffic, loose ball, Shaquille rattles it in.
They're going to also need some play from Brian Shaw. I said that in the first half. He's going to have to hit some big shots for them. He did when they beat Chicago in the United Center in Michael Jordan's return.
Kukoc fakes the jumper.
Uh-oh, that's 5 on Shaquille. That is 5 on Shaquille.
That is a major foul on Shaquille O'Neal with 11:26 remaining, and now Brian Hill has got a tough one.
Watch what Shaquille does. He gives the ball off, and look at him throw his shoulder out there. He never got set, and that's the foul. And now Shaquille's got to play really tentatively.
Kukoc will try the three over Horace Grant. In and out of there. Rebound. Shaquille O'Neal. But remember, with Shaquille on the bench much of the second quarter, for much of that time, Orlando played very well.
On their game, they've been outscored 24-22 with Shaquille sitting down. So if they score here and get this back to like 5 points, they might take Shaq and sit him down.
Shaw with a big bucket. Brian Shaw driving hard to the hoop. Remember, he's the veteran. Jud Buechler very quickly back. He misses. Kukoc follows.
Boy, Orlando fell asleep. Horace Grant is really upset. No one getting back on defense. Not only did Kukoc miss the layup, but they allow, Buechler, but they allow Kukoc to get the dunk.
Shaw lobbing into Shaquille, who missed the jam. Jud Buechler, cool head prevailing. Lob to Perdue. It was a bullet in there. He can't get it. Buechler follows. Oh, he's playing a lot of intangible jumping around, picking up the loose pieces basketball. 9-point Bulls lead.
How about this? Shaq misses a dunk that could cut it to 7. They give up the dunk or the tip in to make it 9. The last couple possessions, the Magic are going to score, and we're going to get this running forward, and we're going to stop it right here, and we see there's 5 Magic back, and Buechler takes the ball in, misses it, and Kukoc tipped up.
92-84, Bulls by 8. Shaquille remains on the bench with 5 fouls. Nick Anderson. Blocked by Perdue. Somebody tipped it in. Horace Grant.
He's got every big hustle play for the Magic. I'm going to tell you, this guy is playing a great game. If the Magic win, 54 will be the key for them. He's played terrific.
21 points, 12 rebounds for Horace Grant. Jordan, pull-up jumper. It'll go down easy. Oh, his rhythm is there. It's a nightmare when he gets like that. 32 points for Michael. 94-86, Bulls by 8. Brian Shaw's been playing big in this half. Magic playing small. Biggest man they have on the floor is Horace Grant, who gets it from the free throw line. Doesn't get this one to fall. That's about one of only a very few. Jordan turned it over. Here comes Dennis Scott to Shaw. Dennis Scott missed the three.
Can't find it. They just need Dennis Scott so badly, Bob. He's got 1 field goal on the night.
20 seconds.
That was a steal reminiscent of the Nick Anderson steal, not the same place before, late in the ball game that caused Chicago to lose it. And Phil Jackson is out with some hard words for Michael. That's an interesting thing to watch.
I think he's saying, look, Michael, we got an 8-point lead. Let's make sure every time down we get a good shot. You know, Michael says, okay, coach, you're right. They're up 8. Because that shot right there could have cut it to a 5-point game. That's how big that miss was. Screen, squaring it up, driving right into the lane, pulling up and shooting the jump shot. We talk about winning on the road. This is what Michael Jordan and his Bulls teams have done. Now, this is just the NBA Finals. But in 91, they were 3-0 versus Portland, 2-1 against Phoenix, 3-1. 8 of 9 road games. That's what you talk about. When you've got to go out and win a big game to be a champion, that's where that home court is thrown out the window when teams start becoming even. And Chicago has always been terrific in the playoffs.
We've said this so many times to compare Michael Jordan to a great NFL running back. You know, sometimes an Emmitt Smith will carry the ball. That's a foul on Brian Shaw. An NFL running back like Emmitt Smith will carry the ball maybe 20 times for 80 yards. And you think he's not really getting much done here today. And then he rips off the touchdown run. And that's the case with Michael. He could be struggling, and then will explode in your face. How about on cue?
Offensive foul. That's a big play.
Oh, my, and that's 4 on Jordan.
Not only that, but if it's a block, it's a field goal, possible free throw to push you to 11. This keeps you in the game. Let's watch it. I couldn't tell whether Dennis Scott moved in the air or not. Michael not very happy with that. But the Magic have to be very excited. They've got a chance to stay in this game. They need a big field goal from somebody right now.
How about Dennis Scott? He's been dry in this game. Lobbing into Shaquille, punched away by Kukoc. Bulls have it 4-on-1. Pippen.
That's another foul.
Offensive foul. Wave off another basket. Oh, the Bulls bench exploded down there. 94-86 Bulls, 4:43 to go.
It's a 4-on-1 break. Look at this. Nick Anderson is the only guy back. I think that was a good call myself.
I do too. You got to question the pass from Steve Kerr there.
Yeah, Steve
Kerr passed that ball to the wrong man.
I agree. Or Scotty had to touch pass it to the open man on the other side.
4:32 to go.
Getting down to critical time here, though. The Magic's got to score. They've got 2 stops here. They've been very fortunate.
Here's Shaquille bumping into Will Perdue, and that's one way to score. Remember, Shaquille O'Neal had only taken 5 field goal attempts in the 4th quarter in the playoffs.
Well, Will's not going to be able to flop. They're not going to put the 6th foul on him on a flop. He's going to have to stand in there and play tough.
Pippen alone steps aside. Pippen out of sync. Horace Grant with his 13th rebound of this game. Down to 3:53. It is tense here in Orlando.
Well, Dennis Scott's going to have to hit a jump shot right there.
On the baseline, can't find it. 5 to shoot. 4, 3. You see it in the lower left. 2, 1. Nick Anderson had to throw up the prayer. Kept alive by Perdue. The rebound captured by the game. Michael now with 34 points on 28 shots. And Doug, that's a 1.34 ratio. You pointed out that the closer Michael is to 1 point per field goal attempt, the better off Orlando is defensively. And the closer he gets to 1.3 and 1.4 and 1.5, the bigger the hole Orlando is.
Well, what that means for people is when you take the jump shot, and Michael is doing that, if you would take a shot, it's worth 2 points. So if you can get a guy to take a shot for every point, you're doing a pretty good job. In the second half, Michael's 9 for 11.
96-88, 3:08 remaining. The crowd here cheering on the Orlando Magic with the best home record in the NBA in the regular season. They lost Game 2 in round 1 to Boston, remember. This is Game 2 in the semifinals. Shaquille playing with 5 fouls. Hardaway working. Shaquille fouled by Will Perdue.
See, this is very frustrating for Shaquille O'Neal. He'd love to go up and dunk the ball. He knows he's not going to be able to do that. And now the pressure's going to be, Shaquille, you're down 8. And not only that, you've got to make free throws probably every trip down the floor.
Shaquille 11 of 16 from the free throw line tonight. That's pretty darn good with 23 points. And his time has been limited in the second half with the foul trouble.
This is where taking fouls pays off. Not in the first quarter, but right now. And Shaquille has never gotten to the rhythm in this game because of the fouls. Starting at the 6-minute mark of the second quarter, the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. And as you look out there, Bob, it's very, very difficult for you to get a good sweat up because he's had to sit down so much tonight.
And it makes a lot of difference to him and to another player on the floor wearing number 23 tonight. 96-89, Bulls by 7. The crowd knows this is the time Orlando has to battle back if they're going to maintain their home court domination here. They lead 1 game to none. Michael's pull-up jumper, nothing but net. 36 points for Michael Jordan.
As he got tired, he started shooting the ball better. And that goes against all odds. Not if you're a real hyperactive guy like Michael and you're playing out of rhythm because you're trying to do things too quickly.
Dennis Scott rubs Michael off the Shaquille O'Neal pick. Horace Grant, who has been so big tonight, is there again, trying to beat his former teammates. Bulls by 7. 2 minutes to go in this ball game. Now each team will have 1 foul to give inside 2 minutes. Pippen in the paint, gets the rattle home. The Bulls have scored 100. 9-point lead with 1:50 to go.
Michael and Scotty have combined for 58 points on 22 of 42 attempts. A little bit different from 10 for 33.
Which was game 1's number. From long range, Scott had it blocked by Jordan. Over the back, this could be entertaining. Well, it's entertaining depending on who you're for. It wasn't very much pleasure to the folks here at the arena as the Bulls build their biggest lead on the blocked three-point attempt from Dennis Scott and the Jordan Jam. Dennis Scott, and here's the Jordan Jam. Not much crowd noise.
Well, you know, the thing about great athletes, and Michael Jordan may be the greatest in his sport, maybe the greatest of all time, you wonder what went through his head over the last 3 days. All the questions, comes out in the first half, he hits his first couple shots, then he struggles, hits 3 for 8 from the free throw line, 6 for 17 from the floor. You wonder at halftime, do you ever question yourself, like, I wonder if I really will be able to get that back? And Michael came out and got into an unbelievable rhythm in the second half. Here's Penny Hardaway with a spinning shot. Michael coming over to try to block the shot.
Hardaway back to the 3-0, but now they'll be at the Forum in Los Angeles.
And the Spurs dodged one the other night. Vlade Divac has 2 free throws to give the Lakers a chance to get that steal on the road. So game 2 is always that pivotal game. And right now it looks like Chicago has broken through once again here. Sort of deja vu of the Boston Celtics here in round 1.
A lot of people have already left the arena.
Shaquille O'Neal has gotten 3 field goal attempts in the 4th quarter. 2 for 3.
Bulls spreading it, milking the clock. Doing a good job of it, too. They can't even get anybody near anybody to foul. 7 on the shot clock. 30 seconds to go in the game. There's the foul on Tony Kukoc.
Number 1, Penny Hardaway. His 4th, first in the last 2 minutes.
Michael Jordan broke out number 23 tonight. We understand from Craig Sager as Steve Kerr slips and goes down, and Penny Hardaway files in very quickly. We understand that Michael, who's wearing his mostly white shoes with black trim, that goes against league rules because the rest of his teammates have on all black shoes, and he wore number 23, and the Bulls did not report simply because Michael didn't tell anybody he was going to wear 23. The jersey change to the league, that's also finable. So Michael kind of threw the gauntlet out here tonight, and you'd have to say, despite a struggle, he has answered the call.
Now the question is, how will the Magic respond to this?
Yeah.
How will they bounce back?
Well, they bounced back in Boston.
Will this be devastating? Will this be, well, we can't win the series now? Or it's, hey, 1-1. All we have to do is win 1 in Chicago. They got to come and win 1 back here. So I think if I'm a Magic guy, I get back in that locker room and say, look, guys, let's keep our heads up high. I don't want to hear any comment at the end of this game like this is going to put us in a bad position. We got to go to Chicago and we got to win. That's all we have to do. It sounds like a tall order, but, you know, with that kind of record they've had this year, they can do it.
Jordan got a piece of that. Dennis Scott will throw this one up. Not going to go down. Shaquille missed the jam. He's missed a couple tonight. It's been that kind of night. Shaquille in foul trouble much of the second half. And Michael Jordan, who had a nightmare himself in the first half, and Scottie Pippen have risen to the occasion here tonight and have stolen the game from Orlando, the team with the best home record in the NBA in the regular season, 104-94. Michael Jordan, 6 of 17 in the first half, 11 of 13 in the second quarter. No question about it, Jordan is our Budweiser player of the game on the 22 second half points. And as you pointed out, Doug, as Michael slowed down just a little bit, his shot started dropping. And he is our Budweiser player of the game with 38 points and 17 of 30 from the floor. Now this series will go on Friday to Chicago at the United Center, where Michael hasn't been all that happy with his shooting there. Another thing to point out in this game, though, is Scottie Pippen also showed up much bigger in the game with 22 points and 7 rebounds.
Look at bench scoring. I talked about bench scoring. Dennis Scott had how many points off the bench?
Dennis Scott had 2, and they came in the first quarter.
And Brian Shaw had, what, 8?
8, and he had 3 in the first half, only 5 in the second half. So
and Donald Rowe gets nothing. There. So they really struggled at that 4th position, that 5th position, finding someone to give them some offense.
Chicago gets the win, 104-94. Let's go to Ernie Johnson.